CBC News here with Devo in Toronto for two performances of two of their classic albums. And I'm asking them about the birth and rise of Devo 2.0. Could you tell that story?
And the death. Because they were kind of like Menudo, and as soon as they started developing secondary sexual characteristics, it was over. Because, you know how Disney is. The mice have no genitals. But Disney came to us with the idea of repurposing our songs, our classic songs, for a demographic of about 4 to 8 year olds. And we thought that was pretty strange, but also pretty cool because they're so powerful and they have their own Disney Channel. And it sounded like they were really behind this because this executive, David, someone at Buena Vista Records, seemed to have the, the cooperation of the whole corporate structure there. So we said, well, what would you want us to do to repurpose those? He goes, I don't know. And I said, well, how about if we go cast a bunch of kids who can actually sing and play, and they play the Devo songs so that the 4 to 7 year olds are watching a band of kids that are slightly older than them, or like their older brothers and sisters that they aspire to be, in a cool band. And we cut some videos together with them and have them performing. And he goes, that's great. So I spent about 4 months casting, and he was involved in all of it. And we found finally a band of 5 kids that could play. And the odd thing is, the shock was, we had a female lead singer, which we never set out to do, but she was the best. And then Bob recorded them, and we recorded with them and enhanced some of what they did with our own playing. And then shot videos to it. But at the point at which we were about to shoot videos to it, the songs that he had picked for us to play, because he chose the songs, were run past the big Disney Taliban. For the first time, the suits in the tower got printed Devo lyrics to these songs that they had picked, like Freedom of Choice, Whip It, Beautiful World, That's Good, Peekaboo. And suddenly there was a mass freak out because they started reading, it's a beautiful world for you, but not for me. It's like, you can't say that. And Uncontrollable Urge.
What's the urge?
Yeah, they go, what do you mean? It's got style, it's got class so strong, I can't let it pass. It doesn't say what the uncontrollable urge is. If you can't define the uncontrollable urge, we can't run this because the kids will think it's about sex. And we went, wow. And I said, well, what uncontrollable urge would be okay? And they go, let us think about that. Came back 3 days later and said, make it about junk food. So I sent back lyrics that said, before dinner, after lunch, I get a snack attack and I need to munch. And they go, that's great. So you had a 12-year-old blonde girl singing that, and possibly one better, that's good. They wanted a whole verse extracted, or we couldn't put that on the record either. And it was, life's a bee without a buzz. I mean, so a bee, life's a bee without a buzz. It's going great till you get stung. So, in other words, you get surprised by bad things, because imagine if a bee was flying around your head and you couldn't hear it. They go, and this is like a 35-year-old executive says, I know what you guys are talking about, and this isn't going to fly. And I was like, what do you mean? I wrote it 20 years ago. They go, life's a bee means life's a bitch, and you know it. So they were thinking about hip-hop slang, right?
Which didn't exist at the time.
Life's a bee without a buzz, meaning life's a bitch unless you're getting high, he says to me. It's going great till you get stung means as long as you get away with it, you feel good until you get busted by the cops. And I went, wow, thank you for telling me what I was thinking 22 years ago that had nothing to do with anything. That's the experience we had. So it was amusing, and it was a case in point of de-evolution for real.
Did Devo 2.0 release any material, or how did that?
Yeah, finally, we censored ourselves in the spirit of the experiment, thinking, you know what? These new versions are more perverted, because once you're told what to write, and it's coming from some not creative place but legal place, it's twisted. And we thought also, well, but if 4 to 7-year-olds see these kids playing Devo songs and they like them, when they get a little bit older, they'll find out from YouTube these songs were originally created by this band Devo, and the lyrics are different.
Gerry and Bob from Devo, thank you so much.
You're welcome.